Man, today was a rough day. I think today would have been a great day to quit doing this, you know what I mean? It's just like one of those things. It's funny when I look back on all the times I successfully, got started on projects and ideas, and then quit them with no explanation. Today would have been that day that you guys wouldn't have seen me anymore, and I just quit on a project. And it's not even anything too serious. It's just that a bunch of things were fighting against me. The resistance was super strong today, right? It's like, have you guys seen that that miniseries? I think it's called 11-12-63 or something like that, with James Franco in it. And he's like a time traveler from the future, and he goes back to save JFK. And then every time he goes into every time he goes through the portal to come in, somebody comes in and tells him like, you're not supposed to be here, like some creepy figure. And that's like the resistance. And I feel like that was hitting me strong all day. And I literally recorded 3 different videos at 3 different locations while I was out today, right? It's funny, but I just could never get it right. I could feel like I never could nail it. So in my first location, super dope background, but a guy comes up on his bike and he just stops and he just like stares at me. And I stop and just ask him, how you going there, man? And he's like, oh, you mind if I just listen in? And I'm like, oh yeah, that's cool, and I just continue to do what I do. And then he just like gets on his bike and rolls off, not even, 5 seconds after. So that was just a big good shot to like my ego. I was like, maybe I'm not interesting to him. So I moved to my second location and I started recording, and I ended up being right in front of a bus stop. So buses started pulling up and blocking my damn light. And then people getting off the bus was super disruptive. So I was like, shit, all right, let me shift over a few feet at this location. Then I started recording, but I was trying to get like the super cool background in the picture, but I didn't realize like I was blocking the sidewalk, so people came through and they were kind of like ducking, trying to miss the camera while I was trying to talk, because they couldn't really walk around the camera because behind them was a freeway, you know what I mean? It's one of those things. I don't know what it is. I think I did wake up kind of later than usual today and had a limited amount of time, to shoot the videos. That was probably the first thing with the resistance that was working against me, but it just caused me to have a domino effect of things that got in the way. At the second location, I finally locked in and recorded a video I thought I liked. Then I finally had time to check it later on in the day, and I was like, oh man, I'm like way too close to the camera. I'm like what we call in the military danger close, and I got like super insecure, and I could see like all my blemishes on my face, and I didn't like the color of my teeth, and all kinds of like insecurities started popping up with that. I feel like the message was the strongest in that video. Why is it so hard to remain consistently creative? I think the main reason behind it is because it's not a normal thing, man. It's not what everybody else does. It's just not a natural to get up every day, think about a new idea, and then go out and film it. I mean, it's much easier to go to work, put in your hours, go home, sit in front of the TV, and do your thing. But shout out to one of my good friends, Kayla. She left me with a great quote from her dad. And I've heard this from other places, but she's the latest source that I heard it from. And it basically says if it was easy, everybody would be doing it, you know what I mean? And I think that's the main thing. And also I think it starts as well is when we're young kids. I think about these things a lot now as a parent than I did before, but I look at like my son and I just watch him discover the world, and how he just goes through without caring about what other people think to try to figure out how to walk, to try to just mumble when he's trying to figure out how to say his words, you know what I mean? And I want to continue to encourage that, and I want my son to always remain curious, because that's where I think it's hard for the average person to be creative, because we were taught that it was bad to ask questions, it was bad to be curious. And it's funny, I look at a lot of people and they hate on like quote unquote celebrity kids or rich kids, and they say, oh, he was born with a silver spoon in his mouth, etc. But I'm like, it may not be that we're born with a silver spoon in their mouth. They may have been raised with like different examples to look at when they were growing up, you know what I mean? So it's like, if you look at the average quote unquote, silver spoon kid, they might have grown up with parents that were, CEOs, that were running businesses and out doing their own things. So they probably had a different set of principles. They were taught that entrepreneurship was a normal thing for them. It wasn't such a stretch, but if you grew up with a family with hard-working parents every day that struggled to pay the bills, and they just, to provide relief for themselves, they may have indulged in sitting around and watching a little bit too much TV or things like that, just to, kick their feet up after a hard day at work. Your set of principles is gonna be, hey, I gotta go, I gotta work hard, at my job, and then eventually I'll be able to retire where I can just chill from working so hard, So you just have a different set of beliefs and a perspective from growing up with a different family. You know what I mean? That's why I feel like you have to really reprogram your brain to think differently. You know, I think for me, it started with, you know, reading different books. You know, I would cycle through 3 to 4 books a week when I was trying to shift my mentality from that of somebody that's a consumer to a creator. You know, you legit have to sometimes brainwash yourself. I look at what I'm doing today. I'm legit standing on the side of a highway recording a video, probably, you know, 20 minutes before I got to go to work. You know, I'm doing that because, and I'm totally comfortable doing it because I've shifted my mindset from that of a consumer to a creator. You know, I'm finally getting comfortable in front of the camera because it's been about a week and a half that I've been coming out recording videos every day, putting in that work to where I can focus on the camera and not worry about what's going on around me. I was recording a video earlier and the guy actually stopped and just wanted to listen in. You know, that would have threw me off my game maybe 4 or 5 days ago, you know? But I've showed up every day and I put in the work, and that's made me comfortable. It's like that with anything, you know? So I feel like if you're having problems being creative, just get to it. Don't be afraid to start. Just show up every day for yourself. You don't even have to publish. Just create something. Create something that's good enough and then work on making it great.
Baby, I'm ready for love. Without you on me drugs. I know it's 3 a.m., but baby, let me pull up. Baby, I'm ready for love. Without you on me drugs. I know it's 3 a.m., but baby, let me pull up.